Hello, welcome back to another edition of the Talking Basketball podcast. I am Mark.
I am Paul, and it is in the morning, Mark, our first morning ever podcast.
Morning glory.
And I have got a guest for you.
How good is this?
This guest, it does not get bigger, Mark.
Would you use the word legendary?
Legendary, godfathery, father figure. Yes, that's how I describe. Should I just go straight into it?
Let's get straight into it.
I mean, I've got to do a little bit of mixing here, so
this could all go horribly wrong.
this is where it goes wrong. So look, what a great mix there.
Everyone's listening, they're used to us by now. It's just a catalogue of errors.
Push that back up. Yeah, now stand and cheer for your godfather of Portsmouth basketball, Emmanuel Davies. Hey man,
Yo,
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I didn't really know how to really take that. I've heard you have a podcast, and I've heard you
Not
do
the
it,
first time I've heard that.
and I'm just like, yeah. Sorry, I just had to.
Eman, you are the
acknowledge that.
godfather of Portsmouth basketball. That's how we put it out. I mean,
I don't know about that.
there's a handful of people. I mean, you got to say what? Mick Byrne,
Yes.
Emmanuel Davies,
Yep.
Simon Couture,
Yep.
Alex Byrne,
Yeah, I'll say.
Steve Davison as
Yep.
well. You put him in there.
I'll say honourable mention. Matt Birch.
Yeah, Matt Birch, he did a
Matthew
lot of
Birch.
work, didn't he?
He did a lot of work. Yeah. So before Simon came onto the scene, it was pretty much me and him, and yeah, he kind of paved the way for me to do what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, Mark, Eman has flown all the way from Norway just to do this podcast.
Does this count as international? I think it does.
Yeah, it does.
I think it does.
Got to. This is
Yeah.
an international podcast. What, he's flown?
Flown.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get from Norway to...
That's how eager
Portsmouth.
people are to speak with us.
Yeah.
He flew over.
Absolutely.
Hey, and he gave us gifts.
Yes.
I'm looking back at
Some
this
Rising Ballers tops.
Oh yeah.
beautiful
Mate,
rising
they're really
baller
nice.
wear.
Yeah, I appreciate what you guys do. You guys are
Hey,
doing
we
awesome job.
appreciate that. That's great. I
So-
do, especially because it gets really cold in here, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And look, that is my
Hey, I'm wearing
second or
trousers
third.
today.
Hey, that's your first free thing as well.
It
Like that's
is.
my second or third now.
Did you hear about the KFC?
I heard about the KFC. Someone just
Yeah.
randomly bought you
Not
extra
ru-
KFC.
It's not
No,
random.
no,
he
someone
doesn't
who
think
was
it's
working
random.
there.
No, what? Someone's what?
I just think he had a soft spot for you.
Yeah,
No,
but-
I was-
But you're convinced.
I
It's
was
'cause of the
talking.
podcast.
I was talking to the lady, and then this head popped up. Hello, Paul. What are you doing? So, thanks.
Oh,
So,
right,
yeah.
you knew. Okay.
He knew.
So
Okay.
yeah. So
That excites him, stuff like that.
Well, hey, I'll
yeah.
take it.
Mark,
take it. Enjoy it.
welcome to the club.
Oh no.
You're getting merch.
Well, if I'm going to get merch from anyone, I'd get it from me, man, any day.
Yeah.
Instead of KFC.
But they can buy this. Is this purchasable?
Nah, that's limited edition.
Ooh.
Limited.
Limited.
edition now. Nah, we
Creme
don't-
of the creme.
We're not
Wow.
selling that stuff no more.
Wow.
Yeah, exclusive.
Well, E-Man, look, you've come all the way from Norway, and
Yeah.
you had your first ever Portsmouth Force experience last night. Let's
Yeah, I did.
talk about that. Like, we've not. What was your take on the whole thing?
First of all, like just walking in was like, I don't know, it's what we've been working for really. When we first started, it's kind of the vision with Matt Birch and like trying to kind of get the city kind of incorporated with basketball, really just create that environment. So when I was here, we had different pockets. So we had the Smugglers, we had Navy, we had Fury.
Why did you say Fury third?
Fury.
That's first.
It's got to be your first one. You say.
Yeah, awkward.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There were lots of different
There were
pockets.
lots of different pockets of basketball, and then you had different sessions, like the like Saturday morning session.
Yep.
Of course, the Fury sessions, and on Friday it was Tuesday and Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Saturday morning was like the one where like that's where I met Rob and the other guys there. So the two hoop guys that went
Yeah.
as well. So but nothing was really bringing it all together, really. And then then when I started with the coaching in the schools, we really thought we wanted that to gel everything together. And I was playing for Smugglers at the time. When you were playing for Smugglers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was up at Mountbatten. at Benton. So we
National League.
National League, yeah. So so we tried to kind of get kind of a following there. So I tried to get the school kids coming up. I don't remember one game. I think we played. I can't remember what it was, where they actually brought out the bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a load of school kids there from like North End.
I'm fairly confident that was the game Ryan Payne went off for like 36 points.
Probably.
I'm fairly confident because he was talking about that. I'm sure that was the game. I know the bleachers came down.
Yeah.
I want to say it was against Bognor.
Nah.
Could be wrong.
I think it was probably Trailblazers. Were they in our league?
Solent. I think in the first season, the derby was Bognor. In the second season, it was Solent.
I think it was Trailblazers. Yeah, I think it was that Trailblazers game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so bringing the kids into that was kind of the vision. I was like, yeah, we need to kind of build on this, but we just didn't get the chance to, really. And then walking in like yesterday to the game, it was just really nice to see a load of kids from different age groups playing for the club there with their parents, with their friends, and linked up with the university as well. Yeah, it was pretty much what we wanted.
Yeah.
Really. Like really impressed.
I think that's a testament to where your focus is as well, man. The fact that you're saying the first thing you come in when you see is the kids and them, how many new people are adopting the game and wanting to play and stuff.
Yeah.
That's, which is, I guess that's echoed all the way through with your journey with basketball, because it's always been about coaching people coming through, rising ballers, the brand, everything. It's all about keeping it sustainable.
Yeah.
But unsustaining basketball and rising everyone up.
That's it. And just giving basketball a platform where you can come and play and you can just come and enjoy and like just be entertained as well. Really. So that was the main thing which I really liked yesterday.
There was I actually got a clip from a slight tangent, but from, I can't remember who it was now, I think it was Teesside, one of the basketball teams, so shout out to them. But they'd actually looked at some of the Sport England like stats.
Teesside Lions?
Yeah, I think it was.
That might be Surge.
It might be, but what they were saying was the rise of engagement base and everything in Gen Z from the 18 to 20s now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see there, basketball's gone up to 4th from where it was.
Where was it?
It was way down there, like maybe not in the 20s.
Wow.
And it's gone up, and then it got to 12 by the size of the engagement base. So it's 12th in the size of engagement base, but the actual, in terms of engagement base, just in that small fracture, has gone right up to like 4th place. And you've got like football, boxing, Formula 1, then basketball.
Yeah.
But what's number 5, Paul? Just want you to read that out.
Oh no.
Well, that's questionable, Mark, because I don't think badminton's an actual official sport.
Number 5, badminton. It's up there.
It's behind basketball, isn't it? It's below. So
is it a sport? It's got a star next to it.
It's, I'd put badminton in the same category as, how many people can I upset with these statements? I put it in the same category as darts, golf, cricket.
Keep them coming.
Oh, have you played badminton?
Squash.
Have you played badminton?
That is not real sports.
Have you played badminton?
No, I've not.
Okay, there we go. I can't be an advocate for the badminton players because I understand the strain, but still, like.
But I know what you mean. Just going back about the comparing us playing National League to last night, was I remember, and funny enough, I commented on this to someone, to one of the players actually, Israel Bello. I was talking to him about it just before the game. And I was saying, look, when we were playing in Div 2 National League and we were in a semi-final of the playoffs, I think we had like a capacity. We had the most people come and watch us, and it was like 40 people. And then you get in a Portsmouth Force game and they're averaging 350 for Div 3. And it's like, I wish we had that 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Thing is, we did like for a couple of games, like, I remember when I did, I really went hard with the school projects in the top of Portsmouth, North End, really, and really got the kids down. We gave away loads of free tickets. I think we had like probably 100, 200 people, 200 kids.
Oh, okay.
It
There were
was-
some
doesn't-
games
yeah,
where
so-
bleachers came
Yeah,
out.
that's it. And
I think we had bleachers both sides.
we did have
every
bleachers
now
both
and-
sides, yeah,
every now and
really,
then.
because we were expecting that amount of kids. Really, it's just that it just needed that consistency,
Yeah.
really, because when those schools fell off, like we didn't have anything for, like, let's say the under 11s and the 10s, substantial enough just to keep them coming to the game.
Yeah.
Really, and I didn't really have the energy to keep going to the schools and recruiting
Yeah.
all the time, really. So, but like Mark said, it's like that's what I saw when I came in. Of course, your facility that you've got is amazing. Raveling I think it's a godsend. We've been trying to get that for years,
Yeah.
really, and it's finally happened, and you took advantage of it. So,
What do you think of the fact they put bleachers just on one side
not good.
and that they don't have a middle court?
Yeah, not good. No, it's
Missed opportunity.
very for sports of that size. Yeah, because
I think for basketball, it's a missed opportunity. But
Yeah.
from them, I mean, it's probably just the numbers, isn't it? It's just the finance of it, isn't it?
They would pack it out. I mean, we had on the last show. We just had it was the NBL Div 1 team. They had over 1,000 people. It was the Essex Rebels, wasn't it? 1,077 people. Yeah. But I just got that stat here: 232,000 people over 16 play basketball at least twice a month in the UK, according to Sport England, and that's just based on them doing surveys.
okay.
50,000 plus in low socioeconomic areas. 27% of the total females play at least twice a month as well. 800,000 boys and 400,000 girls playing in the game.
Wow.
And they're saying there's like 670 affiliated clubs across the national leagues, 34,000 licensed members. I mean, that and 1,000 plus coaches. That's all BE stuff, and it's nice seeing that that's a whole thing, and it's all slowly lifting up.
And that's basketball's always been growing. Like, it's one of those, and we all know this, it's one of those sports where it's the easiest sport to play. All you need is like a ball.
Yeah.
You don't even need a hoop, because if you just have a ball, you can just work on your skills, work on your dribbling skills on your own. And then if you've got a hoop, like, that's it. You don't need anyone else to kind of play with. You can just work on your own game, really. And I think when working with schools, and even now, like, if they've got in a schoolyard, if they've got like a basketball hoop right there, and you give those kids a ball, they're playing basketball. They may not even know how to like dribble the ball or whatever. They won't even know how to pass, but they're just playing, really, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And I think that's one of the that's why I feel it's one of the fastest growing sports, because it's easy to kind of participate in. And I think BE, England Basketball England, they've like taken advantage of that in the last 3 years and really built up with the Project Swish stuff,
Yeah.
the 3x3 stuff. They're really trying to knuckle down kind of on that concept.
What would you personally think is a good thing that schools could do, for example, to help embrace basketball? That's not, I won't say not low overhead, but are there like obvious things that they could tweak? Because I mean, you see some of the, I think it's SBB, and they put on stuff about check out the UK courts, and some of the courts are like they've got grass growing on them, and the hoops are hanging sideways and all those sort of things. There's obvious things you can do maintenance-wise, but what is it about? Because I know Rob said one of the things that kids just want to try stuff, and kids just like playing.
Yeah.
So you just give them the ball, and then off they go.
Yeah.
But how do you get that engagement and keep them engaged? And are there things you think that schools can do?
It really depends on a lot of things. It depends on the environment. It depends on the resources the schools have. But I think generally it's just giving kids a platform just to play. So in the schoolyard, if they've got basketball hoops, just make sure basketballs are available, really, and you just watch them play, really. And then from there, that's where the resources come in. Like, I know when I started playing basketball, I didn't really, basketball wasn't my first sport.
Yeah.
It was track and field. I played football, rugby, I played a load of sports, but track and field was my first sport. But my gym teacher, he was enthusiastic about basketball. So of course, when he sees like a little bit of talent or a little bit of potential, he'd be like, yeah, let's, he's kind of encourages the kids. So I feel that's kind of the main factor that will keep these kids going. Because when I've gone into schools and worked with schools, I will go in for like 2-3 weeks and I'll be encouraging the kids. But then the school needs to kind of continue that, really. And they don't really need to coach it themselves. They just need to be like, yeah, you should join this team. Okay. And then follow up and be like, oh, did you speak to the team? You're really good. That kind of gives the kid like a sense of accomplishment to kind of want to do better. And that's how they bring their friends in.
So is the key in that cycle something like the fun and fundamentals, where there's a crossover between this is what's happening in schools and this is what's happening outside of schools? Because a lot of our history was outside school from basketball's perspective, not necessarily in it. Shout out to Jerry Archer, but other than that, you know,
Jerry Archer was a bloody legend. He was,
but
our PE teacher.
Oh, really?
He was Mr. Basketball. So
he loved it, and he was super about the fundamentals.
And our school team was. We had in our year we had a really good team. He had 2 players playing for Portsmouth. He had 2 players playing for Hampshire. So we just had a very good team.
Did well.
Yeah.
But mate, that's what I'm talking about. You've got that resource in the school.
Yep.
And like,
but then we were doing Saturday mornings at the same time, and that was the real feeder. Because then your brother started Fury, and then that was his feed into play, and then you were going National League at that point. And I didn't score anything anyway. I was just jumping up and catching stuff, so I never needed a hoop anyway.
Well, I mean, E-Man, this is something like, you know, going back into your history. So this is like, so where did it come? So you were getting into the game, but at what point did you start like becoming this, I guess, one of the first proper chairman of Portsmouth basketball?
Oh, chairman.
Because that's the only way I can describe it, because you had Mick doing his thing, all the different entities, and you went, right, I'm going to go into the schools and I'm going to coach. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you started up the fun and fundamentals? I mean, I think originally it was like under 12s or under 14s or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it was the fun and fundamentals that you have now. I know we probably did a project. We probably did a project, like a pilot project, just to see how kids kind of attached to the whole idea. But the main thing was, this is where the Rising Ballers came from. It's kind of getting kids off the streets, giving them positive activity.
Right. I never thought of the word Rising Ballers until you said it like that. Yeah. It's the youth.
That's what I was saying earlier, like that the whole thing's rising up because it's starting from the ground.
That's pretty much what it was.
You know, that's why when he came in, the first thing he's looking at is not how fantastic all of the audio is that's going on and all that stuff.
Hey, you didn't mention the audio.
No, I was waiting for him to come up on that. It's going to be sore point. He's going to be upset with that.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
But the first thing he notices is check out how many kids are here enjoying the sport and wanting to be involved.
Yeah,
like, that's his route. That's where he's looking all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very important, and because those guys are the future.
Yeah,
like watching the game yesterday, the players there, which when I was coaching, they were like in secondary school. Like, look at I think Gaith, who was one of them towards the end.
Look, E-Man's going to rattle through a couple of names now, and I think it's brilliant when he's now watching them play National League.
Yeah.
One of them BBL, or was BBL, and he was coaching them. He started them on their basketball journey. Go on, E-Man, go through this list.
Yeah, so let's say just last night. So Gaith, one of them. So Gaith was a little bit older, but I think he was still at primary school, like year 11, or year 10, year 11. I think he was in the same year as Luke Sanders.
He was around there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's around there. I think Luke might be a bit younger.
Yeah. So, who else was there? Harry Bates. So little Harry. Really? So played with his big brother, Matt Bates. And little Harry was still at primary school as well.
Yeah. Matt Bates in the National League team, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was in the National League team. Who else was there? Jordan
Walker.
Jordan Walker, yeah.
Mr. Buzzer Beater.
Yeah.
Man, he hit
really.
He hit a buzzer beater first game this season from just inside the half.
Wow!
I think it was the end of the half or third quarter. Boom!
My God, yeah, proud. Yeah.
You know what? It was an away game in the cup as well. And what I thought was bizarre was the commentator went,
Plymouth.
"Jordan Walker for free, it's in." I was like, they're the away team. Right? I mean, it's great, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have gone with the Jordan Walker.
Oh, Jordan Walker for 3.
Pedestrian. Wow. Keep it beige. That's it. It's like, I'm not going to say no feeling on this.
Anyway, so sorry, go on. Jordan Walker.
That was
Jordan
Plymouth
Walker.
again, wasn't it? I think.
Who else was there last
Little
night?
Morgan.
Yeah,
He's not
Little
Morgan.
Morgan. Not anymore, is he? Like
No.
little shy Morgan, like didn't want to touch a basketball at the Fury sessions.
Yeah.
Now look at him playing National League. Yeah. And then there's other guys who are not there, like Adam Riabi as well. I think he was one of the first in the Rising Borders sessions. And he came at a young, I think we started the session for under 12s. And he came at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, son, he loved it.
Adam Riabi, Mark. Sorry, he's the one. I don't know if you remember. I mentioned him. So when the
Yep.
Portsmouth Force started going Div 3, I Facebooked him and went, Adam, we're starting a Portsmouth Force team. Would you be interested in playing National League for the Force? And he was like, yeah, I really appreciate the offer, but I'm playing for the Surrey Scorchers at the moment in the BBL. but that's what I really like about Adam is, you know, he could have gone whatever, but he actually replied back and went, I really appreciate it, but I'm playing BBL. But I really appreciate
you
the
didn't
offer.
do your homework because this is where I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah. But so Adam,
But his brother
one
played,
of his
didn't
first coach, Zach. Yeah.
Zach Riabi, yeah. I remember Zach coming up when he was like little
Yeah.
little kid. I think when I left, yeah, I ran kind of a session, you're right. Fun and Fundamentals, we called it Rising Stars.
Rising Stars, yeah.
We called it Rising Stars. It was run at Portsmouth College every Saturday.
Wow. Get him dusting his old memory off.
Yeah, wait, like since coming back to Portsmouth, I'm just seeing different things. It's just triggering little things. Like
Yeah,
that.
Portsmouth does trigger people, definitely.
Yeah.
PTSD, yep, absolutely.
But I mean, I know E-Man doesn't look at himself like that, but that's why we look at E-Man like this, is because he was doing all these sessions, and then you left to go to Norway. Simon comes in, continues those sessions. It grows, just grows. He goes. Rob comes in.
Yeah.
It keeps growing, and then all of a sudden, I think we were doing. I think we were looking at going, right, we're not a million miles away from a National League team, and I think they got to a point. Maybe it was National League under 14s, under 12s, but then as the years go. Right, we now got a National League under 16s. Right, now we got a National League under 18s, and it's filtered all the way through.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we got a National League men's team. Brilliant.
That's amazing. I've been following like for the last few years, and I've just been amazed by the kind of just the way the club has really developed. And yeah, of course, it started with Simon with the girls. And I know when he left, the kind of girls program kind of went down a little bit there. Then Steve Davies picked it up. And I think I actually came over when he started just to visit, and I saw the session at Portsmouth College. That's when I used to run those open sessions at Portsmouth College, and I was like, "Yo, this is awesome that we've actually got boys coming in." Because when me and Simon started, I didn't really give him the responsibility for girls, and he didn't really take it. It was just that it just happened, really. So he was like, "Okay, he'll run the girls, and I run the boys." I think that was because he was at Solent Stars.
Oh, okay.
Coaching at Solent Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He taught the girls team there.
So he did a really good job, like really trying to get the girls together and running like grassroots girls projects while I was dealing with the boys.
And they were a good team, because I remember reffing some of those games and thinking, all right, they're a good team. But they were up there in the National League standings at like under 14s, then under 16s. And you're right, when he left, it kind of, it just went. I think half the team went over to the Kestrels.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened to the other half, but I mean, you're talking about players like
It's Faye, wasn't it?
Faye.
Yeah.
She's now
She's London Lions.
WBBL.
Yeah. London Lions.
So there's, you know, when you
They're trying
talk
to
about
do the women's team, aren't they? In the Force.
they have got a women's team in the Force now.
Yeah.
There is a women's team, but it's going for a couple of age groups are kind of pulling together. But you know, they're not bad. They're not bad. They got a couple of good players there. It's just they need more players of certain age groups, and then
but that's what you're saying. Like, you need to fill those. That team becomes this team, becomes that team, and they all grow together, don't they? And
yeah, I think what we're all looking forward to is a women's NBL team. I think that will be quite nice.
And also, you have the university team feeding.
That's true.
A lot as well.
That's true, because you've got a lot of university players in the men's team.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a really good partnership there.
Yeah, I mean, I do. My
Double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, my biggest worry with university players is there's a lifespan on that player. So in 3 years' time, you've lost that player. So we've got a couple of good players at the moment, and it's like, well, they're going to be gone in a year, 2 years, and that's why I think it's so valuable that the under-18s, the under-16s start getting to the point where your main players are the local players, and the university is supporting that.
I get that.
Unless we pay them with dongs.
Dongs, yeah, Vietnamese dongs.
Vietnamese dongs.
We bought Alex Grant out. We gave him a contract.
Gave him a contract with dongs.
What?
Yeah.
Was it?
We changed the currency, Vietnamese dongs, because we didn't have to pay. So we gave him 12.2 million Vietnamese dongs, which worked out to be like 20 quid or something.
Okay. He was happy with that.
He was happy.
Yeah.
He didn't sign the contract, so we haven't paid him. So
Yeah. Wow, his loss.
But he's
And
still here.
playing. Yeah.
he's still
Fair
here.
enough.
But yeah. So I mean, what were your thoughts about the actual team itself? You know, they got that 97-78 win last night against the Bracknell Cobras. I mean, third quarter, Bracknell came back, brought it. Did they? I don't want to say that. I think they brought it back to win 3.
Yeah, it was within 3. Like, I didn't really get a chance to kind of watch the game fully because I was just catching up with everybody, really. And just, but then when I saw we were up by, was it 20 points?
Up by 20. Then
Up
it
by
got
20.
under 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
like
think
3
it was
points.
3.
I looked up, I was like, what?
Blink and miss it sort of thing.
I think it was 50-53. I think.
Wow. And then we just thought, Portsmouth just kind of stepped down a gear, really. And Bracknell was just taking advantage of the situation. But then, talking again, look at the scoreboard, we're up again by 20, then 30. And then I was like, wow, okay. But then I think it's just the momentum. At that level, Division 3, it's literally a game of highs and lows.
Yeah.
Really. So it really depends on the momentum of the team, of how they're going to perform.
We saw that last year, definitely. When you got a few big, Zachary Abbey actually hit a couple of big threes last year, and the momentum of the team was going. Then he hit a couple of threes. The crowd was really behind it, and then it was like they picked their skirts back up, and then suddenly they're back in the game again. They were like 10-15 down. Now they're within 3. Now it's just a game of each end and who's going to miss, and that made a big difference.
Yeah.
Johnny Phillipson with some big threes last night.
I
think that's probably the loudest I've heard the crowd this year.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I think so. I mean, we've had again. I think there's some new supporters coming, so it's learning how some of the how to be a crowd in a basketball game. And then the last week it was a loss, so you know what it's like. The atmosphere just goes.
Yeah.
And then this week, you know what? The one thing with Johnny's shot, I think, is really interesting. He's got a really high arc.
Massive.
Really high arc on his shot.
He's picturing Wemby in front of him. He's just like, I'm going to throw it.
Hey, no one's, it goes so high, no one's getting that. But he was on fire. He was on fire with his shooting last night. So your first Portsmouth Force experience, good? You're happy?
It was good. It was good. I have to comment on the audio and entertainment. I wonder who did that. I need to.
Hey man, that was me.
Oh really? Oh wow. I didn't know, Paul. Talent.
It like someone fluffing him up, blowing a little smoke his way. Loves it.
It was actually really frustrating yesterday because I was trying to reposition myself to the side of the court.
Okay.
Because it's sometimes when a foul was called and the referee's going up to the table and they're doing hand signals, like showing numbers, or I see an angle of that, so it's difficult for me to see. So I
just need to check at this point if you're 2 meters apart, just for the runoff.
Oh, and it was like it's a little difficult where I am in that corner to do it. I mean, in a perfect situation, I think we would be sat next to like the table.
You've told me what your perfect situation is.
That would be
your perfect situation is no. Yours would be a box.
Yeah, glass box.
A glass box.
Oh, perfect.
Above
that would be ideal.
Sealed away from everyone, so no one can talk to him, no one can interrupt him, no one can ask a question. Where's this? Are you doing that? Can I like just leave me alone? Give me the names.
You know,
it's like the court reception.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is.
A little bit.
But you say that, but it is, and that's why they tried. Like last night, they tried to block off the doors because before that, it was
much easier last night.
Okay.
But my biggest challenge in a game, and this is, I mean, I don't know if you see, but I write down all the player names, and like I'll put their forename, because normally on the score sheet it just says like E. Davis.
Yeah.
So I'll write their names out. So Portsmouth was done 5 minutes before tip-off. So I'm brilliant.
Okay.
The away team turn up late, and he hands the names of his team 4 minutes before I'm doing the introductions. So I'm sitting there writing these names out, and literally I always go to the coach and write, what's his first name? Okay, what position does he play? You don't want me to say positions? Okay, cool. Right. And also the little secret I have, I always say, is anyone associated with Portsmouth? Because when I'm doing the away team, I'll be quite monotone, and number 12, Emmanuel Davies. However, if they're affiliated with Portsmouth, I'll be monotone until it comes to that player who's associated with Portsmouth. And from Portsmouth University! And so as I finished it, the ref's gone, 7 minutes, we're going. And I'm like, walking over. And so when you're reading these names for the first time live, it's just like, oh, come on.
And you like to butcher a name as well, don't you? He enjoys that. It's like, how do I say this? Yeah, go for it. Just go for it. Wing it.
Yeah, it's like, this is a
What
first
could go
personal
wrong?
foul for... that happened a lot
last week
night.
on the podcast, and you're like, what's that guy's name? I was like, Cock. And he's like, oh no, I've written it wrong. It was
It's Koch.
Yeah, Koch. It's like, dude, you're writing no.
But that is actually the biggest challenge. And if that's my biggest challenge, it's not too bad.
I think it did a good job yesterday.
Thanks, mate.
I think it was good.
Yeah. All new music last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think people are getting a bit bored of the same songs for a whole season.
Oh.
So I put 60 new tracks in there.
What I don't understand, and last game, someone said, could you change some of the music, because they'd Halloween themed it and had some upbeat music that all the crowd and everyone really liked. Some of the players like, oh, we just want to listen to some of our normal tunes. And the two problems I have with that is, one, it's nothing to do with you, so jog on. And secondly, you're wearing headphones anyway and listening to your own stuff. So what does it matter what's being playing for the...
Yeah.
I didn't get it. The more I thought about it, I thought, that's just...
Yeah, the music's for the...
It's the atmosphere. That's what it's for.
For the spectators.
Absolutely.
You're hyping people up. That's fine when they're doing the pre-warm up. But once you go to the change room, once you're coming back out, and it's like, right now we're game time. We're coming out.
Get your head's in the
Your
game.
head's in the game.
Everything.
That's it.
This is all for atmosphere. This has nothing to do with
It's
anything
nothing
else.
to do with the players. And that's the thing. Like what you've done, you've really you're trying to transcend in kind of the whole mindset behind entertainment in basketball.
It's a package.
Yeah.
You're going for an evening's entertainment.
That exactly.
You're not just watching the game, and it gets. You can see people who have taken their kids there. The kids are really enjoying it, and you can see the people like, yeah, I'm actually quite enjoying this because
the atmosphere,
and everyone's cheering or booing.
No,
there was some boos yesterday. It was quite funny. I don't know why, but
before, like when we used to play, we used to have our own players playlist.
Yep.
So the music was for the players just to get hyped.
Yep.
Really. And I was saying this to Sarah yesterday. It's like in Division 3, you don't get many teams which have the same setup. I think the only team that I knew had the same kind of setup in that lower division was the Pirates in Bognor. Bognor, they had that setup. They had the bleachers out, and they had the entertainment, even cheerleaders and everything else, really, for Division 3. So, like, I remember because I played for Bognor as well.
I think that's toning down at the moment.
Is it?
Like when we played them away last year, I was like, oh, well, there's like 20 of us turned up to watch the game. And I thought, well, there's more Portsmouth supporters here than... Yeah. But previously, like the season before, that was rammed.
Yeah. So they used to have a really good, pretty much trying to do doing what you guys are doing here in Portsmouth. But the thing is, when away teams, especially like Bracknell or London teams come, which are just used to having like chairs or benches on the side for spectators to watch, when they come into an environment like that, it's like, they're like, whoa.
Yeah. It definitely puts people off.
Yeah.
Like last night, there was a good few people taking free throws, and the crowd and the noise, they definitely bricked them and did not like it.
I would say big shout out to the Bracknell Cobras coach, because he's and I've been waiting for someone to do it, because obviously the music I'm playing is Who Are You? like by the Who. So it's saying,
Yeah.
who
Okay.
are you, as I'm saying, and their names. None of them came out. They
Mate.
just stayed in the huddle, and I was like, well done. That's the first coach he's gone, right, we're doing it our way, rather than we're going to, follow
I saw
the
that.
show.
I
So
saw that.
I actually thought that was really good of
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah.
I thought that was good because he was keeping his players' mindset in the game.
That is true. Okay, I get
That's
that.
what
Yeah,
I
from that point
thought.
of view.
Yeah.
Clever coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
And
trying-
waiting for someone to
Because
do
otherwise you bait it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll go along with this. It's like, well, you're
I've
doing
been
it our
waiting
way
a
now.
season,
Yeah.
a whole season. I've not seen it yet, and he was the first one going, no, we're staying in our huddle. Practice your dribbling and stuff like that. Screw all this. This is a 3-minute show for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
I liked their kit, but what I don't understand is they had some parts that had the black paneling and some had the white paneling.
Yeah, I saw.
And I think I was guessing it was home and away, and there was a mixture of the two kits. So the white and green was the home kit, and the black and green was the away kit. That's what I was guessing. But I just think it's odd when you. I always thought it was a rule. Everyone had to wear the same.
Yeah, I think it's just a mix of kits. Like some seasons you have a certain kit,
Yeah.
and probably don't have enough of that kit, so you go back to last season's kit. And
Yeah.
probably last season's colorway was green and black, and then this season was
Green and white.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well, I think that's an amazing segue, Mark, because the Portsmouth Fury did have a red and orange kit at one point, courtesy of Emo.
Red and orange, or orange and red.
Hilarious. Orange and red. I thought it was red and black.
He knows what I'm going to say. But I think this is probably one of the very first, I think this was the very first kit like you got a supplier to do. Like, I mean, this is
Yeah.
going back 20 years, isn't it?
20 years. Wow.
It's got to be.
Stop it. Nah, don't say
It's
that.
got to be.
No,
I want to say,
I refuse to think. Don't calculate it. No,
I think
refuse.
2006, 2007.
20 years is too much.
So this was, I think you were trying to get suppliers for kits.
Yeah.
And you went, I'm going to try these suppliers. And I said, and we wanted a Chicago Bulls red kit.
Yeah, I did my ACL 2006, and I wasn't playing 2006, 2007, etc. And you got the kit 2007, I think.
Oh, really?
2007.
It's a long time ago.
Wow.
But can you imagine, you know this saga,
So it's
don't
not,
you?
it's not 20 years ago.
Because it was the black Fury kit before that, and then
We
before
al-
that
we
the white
always
one,
wore-
before that the blue one. No,
Yeah,
blue
it was
one, the
black.
white one.
It's always black, but then we got this dark. Well,
Except
we
for
were
the
going
blue
for the
colour
Chicago Bulls red. We were going to change it to Chicago Bulls red and Carolina blue. And it
Just to
turned-
say, it wasn't 20 years. It was like probably 16 years.
Oh,
Yeah, 17, 16.
Yeah,
yeah.
so 20 years too.
He refuses
But-
to age.
this-
yeah, absolutely.
the
yeah.
kit turned up, and you know what? It was. I mean, I still don't say it's orange. It's just one that
when you've been tangled.
the one thing that irritated me is refs would be like, right, blue's that way, orange is that way. I'm like, it's red. It's red, ref.
Hey, like I remember I argued the fact that it was red, but it was a type of red. It was a shade of red. But then, like, yeah, the one when you, like Mark said, if you put it towards a red, it looked orange.
My Andrew was so annoyed.
So-
He's like,
For those who hadn't seen we'll get a picture out, we'll put it on Instagram. But for those who hadn't seen it, it was darker than the Oklahoma orange. It wasn't the orange like an Oklahoma
It wasn't
orange.
orange.
it's similar like that. Is that red or is
When
it
you
orange?
see
It
it-
was similar.
Sometimes you see reds and they've got like a pink tinge in them, and you think, oh, it's kind of a pinky red. This was an orangey red, wasn't it? And what I was saying off just before to E-Man, there was Nike did a foam posit shoe, and they called it volcano red, and it's that kind of color. If you think
Similar
of lava, it's like red in orange or mixed. It's not. When you put it next to red, you go, oh, it's orange. But then if you put it on its own, it's like, that's red. That was the kind of thing. Whereas the Bulls is almost fire engine red, isn't it? Or to blood red, depending on the kit.
It's red. Like looking at these pictures, I'm on Instagram. Like if you actually, I'll say it would be nice to get a poll out. Go on your podcast.
Oh yeah,
And
so
I
we're
should be
still
like-
wearing that kitty, man.
Yeah, you're still wearing the kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still wearing it.
That's
I
it.
think because we ordered like 20, 25 jerseys or something off you. So
And now the players are just realising
we are running out. We are running out though. We are running out.
Yeah, I
I
was
think we're
talking to your
down
brother
to
about-
12 numbers maybe.
Well,
Really?
Good news is that because of the podcast, the amount of equipment and people who are making kits that contact us on a regular basis. Hey,
Yes.
we make basketball kits. Do you want to buy one? No, we don't run a team. We do a podcast.
Well,
Yeah, but we'll do a kit for you.
what, for
Reread.
free?
No, I don't know. They just it's constant every single
If
week.
there's
I'm
anyone out
blocking-
there who would like to do a kit, I will do an honest critique of that kit for the Fury. And if it's amazing, I'll say, everyone get your kits from this company.
What color? What? Yeah, okay, we'll do that. I'll put that out.
It's got to be black. If we're going to get another kit, it's got to be black. Fury. I'd be shocked if Andrew didn't say
You
black.
used to have a black kit, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we were always black and white. And then the original colour was blue, so we were going to go back to blue.
So what happened to red? Why did red come into the picture?
It was the because we had the black and white was the original one, and then it went to we had the white kits with the club approach bit on it, the white with the silver down the side. Then we had the blue club approach kits that were itchy as hell. Those really wide shoulders as well.
Yeah, I
like
remember. I
80
still
shoulder
remember,
pads, those ones. Then we had the black kit, which was the nice. It was the night drive.
The Nike one, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was the nice one.
They had the white version of that as well.
And then there's the white version of that. But the fist on Fury, the Fury was red, wasn't it? It was red writing. It was white.
there was red. I think there was red trim.
There was
That was
something
it.
on
The white kit had blue and red trim.
Yeah.
And that's what it was going to turn into, those two colours. I'm going to say something controversial now. We had that red kit and we were playing the Solent Kestrels when they were in local league. And they weren't wearing red in those days. So I think we inspired their home kit colours, red and black.
Do they play in orange?
That was we were red and black, and Kestrels went red and black.
So Kestrels were
the
blue and yellow, right?
No, Smugglers was, blue and yellow. We were yellow and blue.
What was Kestrels then?
They're red. What in those days?
In those days, yeah.
No idea. But they
No,
weren't.
it was yellow. It was yellow. I remember I had the kit, Solent Kestrels, yellow and blue. Yeah, it was yellow and blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was a bit like the Smugglers kit.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I was getting confused what you were saying then. So you agree? So we there's potential agreement there that the Fury were wearing red and black, and then when they transitioned to National League, they went red and black. Look, the Portsmouth Fury are inspirational
I don't like to
all
put
over
Fury
the South
down,
Coast.
But then, like, if you were saying Fury was red and orange, they would have gone with orange, right?
I think they probably
So
heard
it was
about.
red.
They heard about the debate.
It was actually red. Paul,
They
are you
went.
actually saying it was red?
It depends on what colours were behind. They might have seen it and gone, yeah. It does look red in those pictures though.
Oh, it's amazing. It looks amazing.
But this was a very heated debate between me and E-Man
It
16
was,
years ago.
I remember that was.
E-Man is orange.
It was a tense situation in our friendship.
Now, E-Man, at this point, did you realise that Paul is partially colourblind as well?
I know at the time,
Yeah.
I knew. I said it was colourblind.
It was Andrew was the one saying, "Look, this is an orange kit." You know what Andrew's like. That's my brother. He has a vision, and he likes to
That's not it.
see that vision.
Regardless, the kit looks nice,
No, it is.
and it's 17 years old, so it's done right. It's done
17
the rounds.
I know, it's
Look.
crazy. 17 years old. Wow.
Look, that was your first kit, and it's still being worn 16 years later. So
Yeah.
something went right.
Yeah.
Something went
No,
right.
actually, no, that wasn't my first kit. My first kit was Smuggler's kit.
I mean,
Remember the one with the pirate?
Oh yeah, there was
Remember that?
quite a large one, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was a
but
horrible kit.
it's that wasn't too bad.
That was a horrible.
That was one of my favourites. That one.
because like it was like embroidered the pirate on the front. And when I used to play with it, if I
itchy.
didn't have a base layer underneath, it was like so itchy. It was just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but as far as looking at the kit, that was one of my favourite
Yeah,
smuggler
it looked
ones.
nice. It was shiny, was it? It was that shiny. It was a mix between the shiny and matte.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember the big logo. That was my favourite smugglers one. That
Big.
was. But so there you're two kits, and one of them is still around 16 years later.
Yeah.
So E-Man Fury,
What's going on with the Fury?
you were a big man number 6 for the Fury.
I don't know about big man. But
Uh,
don't know.
I think you came into the team just after the legendary Fury walkthrough, where we changed the McDonald's
that was early
international
mid-2000s,
policy on walking through the
Oh,
drive-through.
yeah, I missed out on that.
But yeah, I think you were part of that squad that we did the double that year, weren't you?
I think so. Yeah.
You got your trophy.
I got my trophy.
Your trophy over there that you won that year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't make it too well in the flight.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get some glue on that.
I need to claim insurance on the trophy.
Someone say that's irreplaceable.
No.
timeless.
What's the year on that, Mark? I can see a year on
I
the
think it was
bottom.
2009, wasn't
2009, yeah.
It's a 14-year-old trophy.
2009.
14, I think.
That says something about E-Man's thoughts for the Portsmouth Fury. He's got a trophy, 14 years old.
I do.
That trophy is older than some of the players in
Yeah.
the Portsmouth setup.
But not as old as the kit.
Not so it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean I remember playing against E-Man, and my lasting memory of always playing against you, and I'm been trying to work out how to rephrase this, and he's drinking, so I'll say it. He was so hard all the time.
Pause.
Like you're solid. Like you couldn't back into you. You couldn't do. And I played like low, but you just were just a solid player. Like your footing was solid, and you just backed into you. It was like, I can't do anything with him.
I think the word is pure muscle.
Yeah, it was. But he was absolutely. It was like a brick wall.
Yeah,
it just
pure
you
muscle.
couldn't. It's like, oh for God, and it would like hurt. You just go, oh God, I'm gonna get an ear bone.
Yeah,
now.
no, I agree. It was like pushing a wall.
Yeah,
You'd be like
just
that.
you're absolutely. So it's like, oh man.
Well, you would try pushing and nothing was happening. You're like, why aren't you moving?
Yeah, and it would just be like, if I'm gonna bump in, I'm gonna get hurt. He's just gonna still stand there, and I'm gonna get no further forward. I'll waste a dribble. I was like, oh, for God's
No, that was so annoying for me because like in National League, especially, and actually all the leagues I played, because I played quite big.
Yeah.
And like I used to get called on fouls all the time because like players would run into me and bump into me, and they'll kind of literally fall over.
Yeah.
And the ref, because I'm not flopping for a charge, and the guy with the ball is literally falling over, like I'll get called for a blocking foul. Really, and then I think there was some cases I really had to kind of protest at the referee. I was like, "Yo, he's tiny, and you're giving him the advantage over me." And then I start to get pissed off about that. Really, situation.
Honestly, it's the lasting memory of playing with you. It's just you were just absolutely solid, and it's like because I wasn't an offensive player, I was always more defensive. It's for God's sake, I'm not going to get anywhere here. So it was just a case of like fighting my battles and trying to get you into a space where you could just get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely solid player.
So, E-Man, what any favourite stories from the Fury?
Oh,
That's putting you on the spot, that one, isn't it?
Is
Any
like,
favourite stories?
trying to-
Big moments?
trying to scratch my memory. Fury.
Did you play the same role in each team that you played?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he was Smugglers and Furies, definitely just big
Same
man.
one, 4. Yeah.
Download 4.
4, yeah. Occasionally 5, but
Okay.
yeah, 4. Yeah. Man, we had loads of memories. The only memory I really think about Fury was not really with the games. It's like after training, when we had we'll train for like an hour. We finished training at 9, and then we're like hanging out outside Fratton Community Centre.
Another hour.
Another hour. That was lucky. For another 2-3 hours, just chatting about.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were chatting about. Really.
That's my brother.
Yeah, that's your
He
brother
just
Andy.
Waffle. He could talk for England. He should. I say this to him. He should be in sales.
100%.
Wait.
He should be in sales.
That's what I remember. There'll be a big group of us outside,
Yeah.
and people will slowly sneak off.
Yeah.
Paul kind of knew what was going on. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm out."
But even the venue, they're shutting it up. They've closed Fratton. They've
Yeah.
gone off. They've locked the doors. They literally kicked us out.
Yeah,
Then locked the doors and left.
Yeah.
And we're still standing there in
we're
a
still
car for
standing
another
there.
hour.
yeah,
Like the neighbours around there must have been like,
yeah.
just go away. But it was as much a community,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
a team spirit,
Yeah.
which is a nice thing to see.
That's
Yeah.
the one thing I've always thought of the Fury what the Fury had over every other club in Portsmouth was the social side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever it was, the Smugglers, you turn up, play, see you later,
Yeah,
mate, bye,
it was,
done. All of it. Whereas the Fury, it was, I know it's really cliche, but it was a bit more of a family.
Yeah.
It was.
So
yeah.
we were going out in the evenings, going back in those years, we were going out.
Yeah,
we
we
were
were,
going out
literally. Let's get showered and get out.
in the weekends, the Fury would be going out.
See E-Man down there with a zoo,
See.
busting some moves on the dance floor in the Union.
And then,
Oh,
and
don't
look,
do
Christmas
that.
we were going out for meals as well, weren't we? Christmas we were going
Yes,
out for meals,
yeah.
getting Mickey Byrne down there. Shame about Mickey Byrne.
Yeah.
Any memories, nice stories about Mick?
Nice stories about Mick. No, there's a few. Like Mick, rest his soul. Like, yeah, he pissed me off a lot. Like, but the thing is, like, he was so passionate about the game, really, and like I really understood. Like, he had his vision, like, of what he wanted Portsmouth basketball to be, and I respected that a lot. But I say he pissed me off a lot. But then there'll be times where, like, he would just show like massive act of kindness really towards kind of what I was doing. He understood what I tried to do, really, especially with the kids and everything else. And he really welcomed when we played Division 2 for Smugglers National League. He really welcomed the idea with the kids and the schools and everything else. And he was always asking how it's going, really. And I remember, I think he took me to coaching courses as well. He really helped me get my level, was it my level 1 at the time? No, I had my level 1. No, level 2. Like, finalised my level 2 coaching course.
Oh, nice.
Really. So I remember me and him, like, we drove to Southampton a couple of weeks really to do that, and I think that was held at Solent University. So I look back and little moments like that, and I'm just like even though, because you know how it was like when I was coaching.
Yeah.
It was one of those make or break moments, really, and I think I took it to a certain extent, and when someone just shouts all the time. I think we talked about this the other day. It's like when someone just keeps shouting and shouting and shouting, and they're just shouting for no reason. I kind of got fed up with that, really, and I was just like, come on, Mick, like, fine, whatever, really. But then outside of that, outside the court, like the game situation, like, he genuinely wanted to kind of help people, really, and that's what I think I take a lot from kind of Mick's attitude towards that, really. Like, I heard on your podcast, like, how the fact people didn't pay for National League.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I remember that session when Leon came up with the money.
Well, I'm glad someone remembers it.
I remember that session. That was because we had training at Portsmouth College, was it?
It's Portsmouth College, yeah.
We had training at Portsmouth College, and Mick was like, the training before was like, yeah.
It was like
Everyone needs
$5.50
to
or
pay.
something like that he gave him, didn't he?
Leon just came up with a wad of cash, and everyone was like, huh? Like,
I wonder if he was like, I'm starting next game.
Yeah.
If I do this, I wonder if
probably.
he must have subbed him in early.
Leon, you've been playing well. Get in there.
You were great at practice when you gave me that 500 quid. Get in there.
Oh, mate.
I mean, he lived basketball, didn't he? That was the thing.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. And the thing is, he wanted it. He wanted it accessible to all as well.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to build a team and wanted, like, if he felt that you should be in the team, he tried to get you in the team and tried to make sure that you didn't have to struggle or didn't have to. What's the word? You didn't have to kind of
Try to remove the barriers.
Yeah,
So that the
yeah.
opportunity, you could actually embrace it.
That's it. You didn't have to hop over hurdles to try to play for the team. It was like, yeah, you're in. And
Yeah.
he'll deal with everything in the background, really. And I only started to appreciate that when I went to Chichester and I was coaching the National League team there. And that's when we were linked with Worthing Thunder. And then I realized the work that actually takes to actually do the administration behind all the players.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mick had any assistance at all. I think he did everything on his own, really. So when I saw, like, at Chichester, there was like 2-3 of us that was doing the administration, and it was kind of a little bit, it was a little bit of work, really. And then I realized, like, Mick did all this for all these players coming in, really, on his own, financed it, kind of made sure their licenses were on time. Like that was, yeah. It kind of just made me kind of appreciate what he did a lot more. So in the moment, I wasn't really appreciating it until I took a step back and looked back. I was just like, this guy.
I almost want to say, I mean, Mick was always, I would say, a double-edged sword, like where he could be ruthless to you, but he was just to me personally, it was like the 90% was always the kindness, and it was only when I was playing against him, that's when the ruthlessness turned up. And he'd be like, he'd come up with some random rule about the court, and you're now working on the court trying to do something to resolve this rule rather than warm up for the game where you're about to play him.
It was all psychology.
Yeah.
It was
Ah,
all. It was
Mick
all
took
games.
psychology to another level.
Yeah, 100%. He was doing that because he know he could do it, and you were like, "Damn, I don't have the knowledge to question that. He's probably right. I've got to fix that." And he's sitting there thinking, "Dance monkey, come on! I'm making you do this. You go do that." And it didn't matter to address that, but you're like, "I've got to address it because I'm not giving him the edge." But he's already got it.
I've got a great example of how he did that. So Fury would play Smugglers, and I'd have asked him the week before, "Mick, can we use your scoreboard, please?" And he'd go, "Yeah, no problems."
I remember that.
And then you
I
turn
remember
up
that.
for the game, and he'd be sitting there
Yeah,
ready to coach.
Where's the scoreboard?
Good out. Where's the scoreboard? Like, I don't know, Mick. Where is it? You said we could use yours. No, I didn't. And you go, "Are you asking me to get a scoreboard for you then?" I went, "Well, I asked you last week. Is that okay?" And he's like, "No." And you're like, you go, "Well, we will just take the game 20-0. And you'd be like, However, as I got older, I worked out with Mick, if you put the front on like you didn't care, I don't want to say the word, but it wasn't power. The power he had lost its effect. So he'd go with 20, okay, "Sure, mate, you can have the 20-0. Do you want to play anyway?"
Yeah.
And he'd go, "I'll
Yeah,
go get the
I'll get
scoreboard." Yeah. And or one year, what I did, I went and bought a scoreboard.
Yeah.
I went and bought a scoreboard and went and didn't say anything. And he was like, "Good, Al, you want a scoreboard?" "No, Mick, I've got mine down there. Thank you." Appreciate that. And he's like, "Oh, all right." But yeah, he
Oh,
was
he could have told me. Wouldn't have got this out of the car.
probably.
It would have been something if he'd
But
gone
there
off
was
mumbling.
there was always something, and again, it was just because he was a competitor, he just wanted to win.
Yeah, I think.
Ferocious.
I think-
National League, ferocious.
The thing is, people just have that attitude, really. And the thing is, Mick was, he didn't really beat around the bush, really. He was very direct. Like you said, that, like, he could be very harsh, or he could be, like, very kind of kind. And there was no kind of trying to mask or make people feel nice, really, about it, really. He was like, if he didn't like anything, he'll say it. And I grew to kind of understand that and respect that a lot, really.
Maybe the method he went around it was questionable sometimes. But
As
it's it's almost managing his time in a way, isn't it? It's like, that's not working, move on.
as a player, I preferred that.
Yeah,
Like,
you-
you knew where you stood.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
he would turn around to you and be like, "Good Al, you've been playing shit at practice." I only swear for historical accuracy. So you're not playing
coming out there.
you're not playing next game. And you go, "Oh right, okay, mate." You think, "I've just been cut here. Jeez." And you'd be thinking, next practice, right? I need to step up. Next
Yeah.
practice. I remember he said that to me, and the next practice I went for Clayton Milner.
Oh, really?
I just thought I thought I'm picking one of the starting five. I'm going for you.
How did that end up for you?
Oh well, I got back in the team.
Okay.
Got back in the team, but I don't know why I went for Clayton. Not physically, but like
no, I know
I was
what
just
you mean. I know
really
what you
playing
mean.
hard. And Clayton was like, "What are you doing?" Whoa.
I think it's Clayton's just chilled out as me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I like
a
Clayton, obviously.
great player.
Yeah.
Great player.
But from that point you made about Mick, about like not really caring and stuff. Like I remember one game after Mountbatten, like I think it was one of my best games of the season because I didn't really start. I was more of a role player, but I ended up scoring like I think I don't know, probably 15 points that game, really. And Mick came up to me after the game, and you know when you walk out the court at Mountbatten, you've got the vending machines. And I was just there, just kind of, that's next to the locker room. And Mick came up to me and was like, "Yo, you played a good game today." I was like literally shocked. All season he's been having a go at me. It's like, "Yo, you played a good game today." And I didn't really know what to say. I was like, "Cheers, Mick." That's it. Literally
You
just
don't,
like
yeah.
really monotone. "Yeah, cheers, Mick." But in my head, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" Like literally. And then like, I think after that, like, I think we kind of got like some type of like relationship. Like it was a little bit softer after that.
Wow.
Really, I remember that moment. Like I just didn't really know how to react to that because all season he's been like, "Hey man, do that." You know, I was like,
Yeah.
like get back on defense. Why are you doing that? I'm like,
You know what? He did give me a compliment once. You know what Mick is like with referees?
yeah,
So every time a referee is reffing his game, they're terrible, absolutely terrible. And I reffed, and this was one of my first reffing local league Div 1. I refed Smugglers, and I know who they were playing.
Mm.
And refed it. It was okay. And he said he sat down at the end of the game, and I just putting a jacket on or shoes or something like that. He went, "Good, Al." I went, "Yeah, mate." He goes, "You weren't shit today." Again, I only swear for historical accuracy. And I was like, "All right, thanks, Mick." Thanks.
Yeah, appreciated.
I was like, "I'll take that as a compliment." And he went, "Yeah, see you later."
Neither was your team, Mick. Thanks very much.
Oh,
Wow.
mate.
Yeah,
But
sounds
that
about right.
hey, Mick said that to you. That was a compliment.
That is a character.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Mick Ban, like, yeah, rest in peace, Mick. So, like, I was really gutted I couldn't make it over to the memorial game. Yeah, I would have loved to be there.
It was a nice game.
Yeah,
It was a nice game, and I know
Other than the fact that Kestrel's won, but other than that, it was a nice.
yeah,
game.
you were getting all excited about that. We it's funny because when we had, I mean, Ryan afterwards talking about it as well, and you know, from I won't say Kestrel's perspective, mate, but it was like it's really appreciative that you can look and see. There's a lot of people here who had that experience with Mick, and because he'd just been.
Yeah, it was around.
He'd just been around the whole thing. It was just wherever you went in whether it's in Saba or in that sort of those sort of leagues.
Oh, I mean, look, it was on BE. They were talking about on BE and stuff like that. I mean, look, it was all over the country.
Yeah.
You know, people
Thing is,
felt
Mick was the guy you went to.
Yeah.
Like, if you needed any information, you went to. Like, even I remember Simon like went to Mick. Really, and like this is the time where I was like, I wasn't really getting on with Mick, and Simon was like, yeah, we need to start a girls thing. Like, we need to get Mick's permission to use Portsmouth's name. I was like, Simon, just use it. Like, you don't need to ask Mick. Just do it. See what Mick says, really. But then, like, he told me he went to see Mick, and he said Mick was like, yeah, really nice. I said, yeah, whatever you need, and this and that. And I was just like, I was just.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I was waiting. I was just like, yeah, and
you're just waiting for the sword
where's
to
the
turn.
catch?
Aren't you?
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
is it?
But then at the end of the day, like, he's the guy. Like, if you wanted to get something started in Portsmouth, or you just wanted advice on how to do things, really, it was nice to have that one person to go to.
Yeah.
Really.
Can I ask? I don't know if this is a silly question, but based on your experience with Mick and all your history, has his coaching style affected how your coaching style is? Like, very vocal, very aggressive, unless you're up by 30. That's kind of how I remember Mick. If you're up by 30, he was sat there nice. Yeah, good game. Yeah, he was like that. But anything else, it's bloody hell, come on, like everything.
I think, come to think about it, if I'm looking back right now, yeah, I can be quite active on the sideline. And I think Mick was the only coach that was quite active, not like active vocally, really, when things were going wrong, mainly. But then, like, looking back at my coaching, especially when I was coaching National League in Chichester, it was like, I'm there, like, literally just not shouting at the players, but literally being very vocal on offense and defense, really. And I think that's what I got from Mick. It's just knowing how to, not knowing how to, just being vocal. So knowing that the players knew that you were the coach. That was his style that I took. I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but then that's what I took from that. Really. With regards to tactics and things, Mick just ran certain plays like all the time. He stuck.
Very simple, wasn't it?
I can't remember those plays.
I think you had it was 3D or man.
3D man on defense,
usually,
and the offense was the one on the baseline. What was that called?
I don't know what the name is, but I know I can run it in my sleep.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
The point guard, you're making a pass and you're running all the way down the baseline for the three. That one.
That one.
I don't know I don't know what. Do we have a name for it?
Yeah, we had a name for it, and I can't remember what it was. Yeah, but then the thing is, he just stuck with those. He didn't want to innovate from anything else.
Yeah,
really, he just really stuck with that, and it worked if people knew how to run it.
I mean, the only thing I would say with that team in particular, you had players like Ryan Payne, Clayton Milner, Andy Ong, Harry Veazey, now Alex Byrne. Like, those 5 players, do you need plays? Like, they're I mean, they're that just those 5, and the experience they got. What have you got here, man? He is unrolling.
Something is being unraveled.
He's unraveling a
Right.
scroll.
Hold on. Right.
Oh, it's a photo.
This, like, remember that season? Like, this is the season, our big season, like when all the schools projects and everything was kicking off and we had loads of people coming to the games. This
Yeah.
is Smugglers. So I made a little montage at the end and I gave it to all the players. I asked all the players to sign. Can you remember that?
No.
You really can't?
No, I can't remember this.
So this is something that has to go in the frame. And I can't find the original. So,
Wow.
Division 4 champions. So all the players in Division 4 when we were champions, we signed this. You see it's got everybody's signature on the team. Got Alex Byrne with a cup there.
Oh,
I'm
man,
looking
that
for
is
my
good.
signature, man.
That's amazing.
Where are you, Paul? You're somewhere.
Email, I'm not on it.
No, Paul, did you? No, I think you must have played the season after.
No, I'm there.
Is that you?
That's me. Yeah.
Nah, that's not you. That's little young Paul.
Yeah.
What?
I've even got the same haircut.
Just less hair.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, so Matt Bates was doing some coaching for you
Yeah,
as
Matt
well.
Bates was doing coaching.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So Matt Bates was coaching, Simon was coaching. This was when we won the Solent area with Smugglers.
So this, Eman's, it's like a montage of all the different teams put together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look,
Schools.
there's what's his name again?
Leon
Bailey.
Leon Bailey.
So he was the one who, like this. That's the season he turned up with Mick,
Yeah.
with a 550
Yeah.
quid. And was this the stuff, the warm up tops that we got on there? Is
Yeah.
that from Rising Ballers?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I remember that.
Harry Bates wore that. Sorry, I said those 6 players. Steve Davison in there as well. Like you got those 6 players, you don't need to worry too much about plays. But yeah, these tops are great.
Yeah, the tracksuits.
These tops was great.
Remember we went to Manchester for the was it the
It was the
final?
cup.
Semi-final, the cup final?
No, it's the final. It was against
Final, yeah.
Brixton. I don't know what final it was. It was like the BBL Cup or something, or plate or tray or something like that.
That's the kit that Harry was referencing when he walked past with his yellow shorts on. Went, it's like the smuggler's kit
Yeah.
because they had the yellow cuts in the
Well,
back,
that
underneath the
that
shorts.
top,
Yeah.
Harry Bates had one, and that's the top he wore for the memorial game.
Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must belong to Matt Bates then. Because Matt Bates had the top
12 players, yeah. Full squad.
squad there. And this was the same year we had the local league. I think we won the local league as well. That's Division 1.
Now look, that, and now this is Mick.
Okay.
This is Mick's influence. Look at that National League team. There is not much difference between his National League team
Hang on.
and his local league team.
Hang on. This is even.
That's why I feel for Bournemouth Bears, because they were trying to win that local league, and Mick was playing a National League team, but they weren't far off a National League team. They probably were, actually.
There's something even rarer than this.
What?
That's the Mick pose in the photo. What's this one?
Wow. It's thumb up.
Hold on.
No. That's a smile.
Smiling.
That is a smile.
Wow.
You got a smiling photo. Every
You guys
picture
must
of
have
Mick,
played
You
well
know,
that day.
He was so happy. I remember that. He was so happy.
He has
Yeah.
the. It was like the, when you have the politician's face or anything, and he was just like, we're just gonna have a photo, and he'd just be standing there like,
Oh, wow. That's Chris Watson. Is it Watson? Chris Watson.
Oh, Chris Watson, yeah.
Yeah, big power forward there. I
Don't-
mean, that is a ferocious local league team.
yeah, locally. That's
Andy
ridiculous.
Ong,
That's just-
Chris Watson.
That is ridiculous.
Is that Steve Davison? Hang on, I can't see these players.
Got to get your glasses. You said you're going to bring your glasses to the studio.
I can't see who that is. Luke Sanders.
Yeah, Luke Sanders as well. I think that's where
Wow.
that's his breakout. Yeah, this was another one I found in my. This one. They say he's not really smiling. Yeah.
Wow.
I think this was the year before that.
Is he smiling in this one?
I don't think so. Like, that's like Gary Hughes.
This-
Lawrence Rowe.
This was the start of the National League team. That I remember. It was that was-
Azu was there.
Wow.
the Hughes brothers. That was the start of Mick
Yeah.
going National
Yeah.
League.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah, Chris Watson, Andy Young. Yeah.
I want to say
Chambers.
that was a few years. Chris Watson, what a player he was. I think he's coaching in Portsmouth now. He's got like a team in Portsmouth. They're doing all right. They're doing
Okay.
all right. He's doing a really good job down there.
Oh,
from what I've heard, yeah.
Local league. It must be local league.
Yeah, local league. Yeah.
You can just tell that's man pattern as well. Just look
Yeah,
at
it's
the
my
floor.
pattern, yeah.
That brutal
horrible.
fall. That brutal. Can you remember that guy headbutting the floor?
That floor.
His teeth falling out. Were
that-
you
I
there
remember
for that
you
one?
saying.
That
I remember
floor
you
is
saying
the
that.
E-man floor. That's the equivalent. It's you as a floor. It's just unforgiving
Oh,
and
wow.
it's just solid.
No, I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Oh, yeah, and
Remember
it takes teeth out.
Was it George?
Oh yeah, little George. I haven't seen him in years, and like 10 years. And look, this is a really valid point. I'm not going to say this player's name, but this guy here, don't say his name. Don't
Okay.
say his name. But he was in the National League team, and his biggest
Yes.
problem was minutes. Can you remember that? He was always moaning, I need more minutes, I need more minutes, I need more minutes. And it was his downfall. He ended up like out the National League team because he was just like, oh, I need to play, I need to play. But it was just like, you know, when you come on, throw a brick, and then
He wasn't
turn
that
over.
bad. He wasn't that bad.
but
Like,
That's the only chance you got. With
He
Mick.
was-
It was like you come on, you got a minute.
in that team, Mick had his like, I'd say, I almost want to say there was like 4 guys who pretty much weren't coming off unless you're up by 20 or 30. And so the rest of the squad, the
Was
other
done.
the other
Cycling through,
7
yeah.
were going through that one spot. And if
Yeah,
someone was
that's
on
true.
fire,
That's true. He played that spot, yeah.
but yeah, I just remember he always moaned about court time. It's
But
like, you're
no-
not doing yourself a favour there.
But local league, he shot the lights out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, lights out local league.
there's just a difference in step up though. Sometimes, isn't there?
Yeah.
He played in the Solent Stars as well. And again, when I went into Solent Stars, I just targeted one person. I thought, right, who's on this team up? Bam, targeted him. So we always clashed quite a bit. Even in local league, that spilled in local league when we were playing each other.
You clashing with people?
No.
But
Doesn't
Silly.
silly.
Can't imagine it.
yeah, look, one of the Teasdales, Craig Teasdale there. I mean, those were the days. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God, look, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So we had just won something. What have we just won National League? Do you know?
This was the Division
Div
4.
4.
Yeah, this was Div 4. We started off at Div 4, then we won Div 3.
Yeah, there was 4 divisions
The
then,
year
wasn't there?
after, Yeah. After that. Yeah.
Wow. E-man,
Classic.
thanks for showing that.
Yeah, so
That's very cool.
but I'm gonna try put it online, like make it like look proper. And
Yeah.
Because like you've even got Mickey B's signature there.
Wow.
Wait,
Got
oh,
all the players' signatures. Ryan Payne. Actually, everyone is here. Even Matty Bates.
yeah, everyone other than just one person.
Well, Paul,
Everyone's there.
well, I know you must be somewhere, Paul. You just need to find it.
Hang
You
on.
can't even remember doing it, so
I
probably you
can't.
didn't
No,
do
I
it.
can't remember. I don't think I did this. I was number 14.
14, wasn't it? Because everyone put their number next to their thing.
I was always 14
17.
at the National League. There's no 14, E-man.
9, 15.
I can't sign
17.
it now because it would affect its historical accuracy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You missed out, mate.
Shocked.
You missed out on history.
He didn't get the signature.
I was
for the
probably
bench players.
signing something else for some kids or something.
Ah, that's what it was.
That's probably
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. That is the end of this part. But do not worry, because coming soon is the second part of this episode, and it will be available soon.